But what happened with him is I doubt we do a lot of Zillow deals, which means this: we don't have any relationship whatsoever. We're just really moving. Do you like where I'm sitting, Van? Somebody's moving me. I hate it. I like to be right in the middle. So that will not always happen, but the best thing you can do is to always make sure you're moving forward with, I'm certain, I'm good with this. What if their payments were, they were renting for $1,200 a month? Good morning, Lorema. Thank you for getting on here. And now it's $1,350 a month. It's what are you trying to solve there? Pay attention. $1,100 in rent. Yep. The new mortgage would be $1,350. That's the problem you're trying to solve. In their mind, they're trying to see this big number, $1,350. That may or may not work. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Grind. Every Monday through Friday, somebody's going to be sitting in this chair at 8:29 ready to talk. This morning, we'll start out with our 60 seconds of gratitude, because I can get pissed off really easy. You'll see that one of these days. Travis is new. Hell, everybody in here is new. Our old people are, where's our old people right now? Josh is an old guy. Josh has been here the longest.
Yeah, I'm the OG.
Are you? Van, who was here first? You or Josh?
Oh, Van was me. I'm the OG young guy.
Good morning, Shannon Wheeler. How are you, my friend? Amanda, thank you for getting on here. I'm very, very thankful this morning. I'm thankful that I didn't go to the gym this morning. I slept in. I got about an hour extra sleep. Normally, every single day, I wake up at what time? 4:40. This morning, I slept into like 6:05. I'm a little lethargic. I feel hungover. I feel like something's not right here. But this morning, my body was just beat up because I'm doing this new beginner CrossFit workout where I'm not used to intensity like this. And my back is a little beat up. And on Saturday, me and my wife are running a 5K. So I wanted to give myself a little break, a little rest. I wanted to be able to finish it. So I'm very thankful for that extra sleep. Although the dog, we've got a little boxer puppy, and he is relentless. It's like whenever he wants to get up, we're getting up. You know what I'm saying? You know why? You remember back when you had a dog, correct?
Yep.
What's the dog's name?
Doug.
Do you hate the dog now?
Yes.
You used to love him. Do you have an abandonment problem with him now?
Yes. He's gone.
The man is gone. Get you a new dog. Oh, who is that, Travis?
So, figuring out a walk through today.
Got a deal coming in? We got a deal coming out, too. It's not a good day. Get focused. Today's show topic is I sent out a blog. I do a weekly blog that goes out to Facebook. I need to put it on more places, but it goes out to our database. And Shannon Wheeler is on here. He is our partner in Premier Mortgage Group, PMG. That looks better, Van. Thank you. Whenever people see PMG, they wouldn't know what to Google, but Premier Mortgage Group is our mortgage company, and Shannon runs the show over there. So I sent out this email to our database, and I want to make sense of something this morning. If you want to buy real estate, but you don't want to sell your home. Okay, so this is something that I'm 48 years old. I wish I'd have done this sooner. I didn't know this, but really, as I was buying real estate in the mid 2000s up to 2010, the real estate that I bought, Josh, it was actually probably worth less than when I purchased it. It was like I was a little upside down. You guys have never seen this. You have, I bet, haven't you? A lot of people, good morning, Cousin Noah. A lot of people have never seen this. You bought a house. I bought a house for like $110,000. Okay. If I wanted to sell it in 2008, you know what I could have sold it for?
90.
Maybe. Could have been even lower than that. You guys, it's unheard of. Because what you guys see today is real estate always goes up. It never comes down, but that's not the way it always will be. There will be some times where it's a little bit different cycles, different pockets. So keep in mind, at 35 years old, I was going broke. I had foreclosure notices left and right. I had so many bill collectors calling me. I went into hiding. I moved in with my mom. I think everybody. Have you ever heard that part? Have you? So many people would call this office. Nobody wanted to answer the phone because it was some dude from India looking for Tommy Davidson. You know, they weren't calling to look to buy a house. It was some dude, hey, your truck payment's 2 months past due. Where are you? Can we get paid? Can we get paid in full today? Well, hell no, I can't even make one payment, dude. What are you talking about? I had student loans. I had all these things going on. So I wasn't even able to do what I'm talking about right now. What I'm going to talk about today is if you want more real estate, every single day I write down this gigantic number of what I want to hold in real estate assets, and it's $100 million. And it's a big, scary number that I don't know how I'm going to get there, but that's where I want to get to. I'm not worried about the roadway right now. I'm not worried about that. This is just where I want to go. So, like, if you and Zena wanted to go to, where do y'all want to go? Vacation.
Boss.
Okay, you want to go back there again. Congratulations. Go see Uncle Benji. Does he live in Boston? Well, I heard he's moving there. Aunt Beth. She lives up in Boston. You don't care. You're probably not driving, right?
No.
What if you were driving?
Be a long day.
Well, it would be a long day. But let's just say you want to get to Boston and you were going to drive. Would you worry about the roads? Would you try to figure out and grid, like map out how you're going to get there?
No.
It's actually already done for you. It's called a what? GPS. Okay, well, I'm going to give you the GPS of how you accumulate more assets. You never should sell something unless you have to go into something that's bigger, or you have to because you've gotten behind, the IRS is coming after you or something like that. But you never want to sell your assets. So I bought a Nashville Airbnb. It's probably a year and a half ago. And it's gone from 600. It's gone from 600 to probably, I could probably sell that thing for 850 right now. People would say, why don't you go ahead and sell that? Right? Makes sense. But there's a lot of problems, a lot of difficulties that will come along with that, like capital gains tax. I also did a accelerated depreciation where I'm going to depreciate all of it in 1 year. You ever heard of that? Have you ever done that? All of it's gone, like all my depreciation. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me a tax credit because I file as a real estate professional, and it's probably going to save me an actual tax dollars of about $40,000. Okay, so if I sold that, I would have a who knows how big the
Pay a lot of capital gains.
I would, unless I could find a way to exchange it into something, a 1031 tax exchange. But when you do that, you're on the clock, and you can't be picky. You're going to have to move into whatever you want.
Was it 6 months?
And no, it's 45 days to identify it. You don't have much time at all. So if you don't do this, you get into trouble, and you may actually settle. And you do have to pay some money to do this. So what I'm doing, and I wrote this blog, and this is probably the best response I've ever had on a blog, is you should just always refinance your properties. I never did think like this because my mindset growing up in a family that didn't have a lot of financial literacy was, if you buy something, what do you want to do with it?
Hold on to it.
But what do you ultimately want to do with it?
Make money off of
What do you really want to do? I had $562,000 financed on this thing. What do you think my family would tell? Pay it off. Pay it off. That's the way middle class people think about money. Well, now you need to get it paid off. No, what rich people know, you might be real rich. I don't know, and you might be like really really rich. But what rich people do is they find a way to control more assets. So let's just say if this thing is worth, I paid $625 and it's worth $850,000 and I paid it off. How much of an asset am I controlling, Little Red?
200 and
Negative. If it's worth $850,000 and I paid it down to zero, how many assets am I controlling? $850,000 worth of assets. So if $850,000 appreciates at 5%, this is really going to mess with you, Josh. Yeah. If it appreciates 5%, how much did it go up? Let me give you the shortcut. If it's 5%, let's say, what would 10% of $850,000 be?
80,500.
It'd be 85,000.
Or 85,000.
What's half of that?
40,000.
Yeah, well, you're close. Good morning, Andre. 40.
It's
Let's say
at least
42.
40,000.
Let's say, okay, we'll just say it's at least 40,000. It's 42.5. Okay. Now think about this. We want to buy a place in Florida. Do you ever go to Florida?
Love Florida.
Where do you go down there?
Usually Tampa area.
Okay. We go to this area it's between Destin and Panama City. Coach has a place there in watercolor. We love all those little communities along 38. So right now, the poor person or middle class, hey, won't you sell your place in Nashville and then buy something in Florida? Makes perfect sense. But that's not what I want to do, because I want to be able to keep control of this $850,000. Now let's say if I go down there, let's say if I could buy something down there for $700,000, which is hard. It's really, really hard. But let's just make the numbers easy, okay? So instead of selling that, if I could take out equity of that and maybe get some equity in another place, and I can put 20% down on $700,000, you know how much I got to come up with? 20% of $700,000. This is hard arithmetic.
300 or
yeah, 140, Josh. Okay, I'm gonna quit asking you questions, Josh.
please.
I apologize. I apologize how dumb I'm making you look this morning. Okay, so I got to come up with $140,000. The beauty, see you, good luck. The beauty of refinance, doing a cash out refi, is that money comes to me. If I get $140,000, it comes tax free. I don't have to pay taxes on that. Now if I've got, this is going to get tricky, Josh, 850,000 plus 700,000. How much money is that?
$950,000.
Okay. Shit. Damn. Who can you answer that, Cameron?
850 plus 7.
Yes, it's basic arithmetic. Good God.
Yeah, 1.5.
I don't know how. Okay, so now, Josh, I'm going to go.
50,000.
Yeah, now we're going. So now I'm controlling 1.55 million with the same property that appreciated. Okay, so now if it continues to go up 5%, I was controlling 850,000, and it, like the normal real estate, the way it's going to appreciate is going to be about 5%. So would you rather have 5% of 850, Josh, or would you rather have 5% of 1.5 million? No, why is that? Are you sure you've got the right answer?
Much larger number.
Okay. So let's think about this. Let's say if it's 5 million and it's appreciating 5% a year, how much is that? 100 grand.
You said 5%.
Yeah, 5% of 5 million. I don't think you're right. It's $250,000. So these numbers become, think about how your wealth begins to multiply with the more assets that you have. The goal is not to get things paid for. The goal is to create, it's like it's to have babies. Your houses are your assets to have babies. You want to make money, keep money, and multiply your money. So if I could go from 2.5 million to 5 million and it's appreciating 5%, you said $250,000. My net worth grew that year by $250,000. How much work did I do?
Maybe a little.
What happens when that number gets up to 10 million? 5% of 10 million is a scary number.
I'm out. I'm done trying.
$500,000. So this is what rich people do. You make money. You really make money three ways. Number one, you make money off you and your time, which is the worst way. You should not want to do it. You're so limited that way. The next way you can make money is off people. You can come in here, now I've created more time. The third way you can make money is off your money. Your money being your real estate assets right here. So what you want to do is you want to get an asset that you can control. You want to buy a house this year. Mm-hmm. Uncle Benji's going to say, Josh, good job. Go pay it off. Yep. That's what they're thinking. And one day maybe you can do that. And you've got enough to where you've got $2 million. You're hard. You're 70 years old. You're limping around. You still don't know math. You thought you had 20 million, but we looked at it and no, Josh, it's only 2 million. You didn't know what that comma. You didn't know what that meant right there. Apologize. But what you wanted, you do not want to think payoff. You want to think expansion. Now, a lot of people aren't going to do this, but this is, if you watch what big, rich people do, they control larger amounts of assets. They don't try to get them paid off, because if you paid something off, it's still only worth what the market value of it is. You want more. You want to stretch it out. And see, I wish I would have been thinking like this But I couldn't help it in 2008 and 9 when the recession was so. What were you doing during that time?
Oh, what was I doing? I was at home. Babies.
I was at home with my mom. But I mean, I still had this job. But see, I didn't have these skills. You guys are developing skills. When you're 10 years older than you are right now, you're going to be so much further ahead of pretty much anybody else that you're around. Zach Drew, it doesn't get below 70 between Tampa and Naples, plus less hurricanes. I agree. Here's why I don't. My best friend lives he lives right outside of Tampa. Do you know who that is?
Adam or Scott?
Adam Wright. Scott, my other best friend, lives in that Seagrove Beach area. And the weather is better the further south you go, like going down to where you go, the weather is better. But I don't like to fly. We're flying next Friday, but when I fly, I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to take a Xanax. I'm going to do whatever I got to get through that because I hate flying. I fly 3 or 4 times a year, but it's a miserable experience. And if I wanted to, I can drive. I can drive 6 hours and 42 minutes down there. Tampa, if you want to go down there, you're stuck flying. It's a 10-hour drive. Well, it's miserable for me, but other people it doesn't bother them at all. I hate flying. I absolutely hate it. But I'm getting better. But the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. How do I make sense at getting better at flying?
Better at business.
But because it's this fear that's present there is I've got a blind spot in the business where I've got fear. I've got to tackle the fear thing. So this blog, if you want to read it, it's a very easy thing. If you want more information about how can I refinance something, get my money out. So right now, our house, I think we paid $665 for this house a couple years ago. Today, I know this. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous what I could sell this house for. I bet I could sell it for $1.2 million. That means there's how much money of untapped equities in there, Josh? I paid $650. Let's say I owe $500,000 on it, and it's probably worth $1.2 million. How much equity is there?
$480,000.
Okay, well we're going to do some basic. 1.2 minus 500. 12 minus 5. 700,000. That money is doing nothing right now. It's doing nothing. So what I want to do is I want to take about $200,000 out of my house. Now, a lot of people are going to say that's dumb, that's risky. Okay, well, I'm going to take it out of there, and now I'm going to control about $2 million worth of real estate. Zach, they had to put cash to pay off their loans, but they want to keep hiding the cash. Everybody have a great day. Thank you for watching. Go read the blog. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to refinance your property, if you want to, Josh is the magician. Mathematician. Everybody, best I've ever seen it. Have a great day. Shut us down, Big Bronson.